Hello. Welcome everyone. Dear, it is with great affection that in this message your angels and spiritual protectors bring you a little knowledge about the spirits of the Deva world and the elementals of nature. These journey brothers of yours, who many of you have worshipped and venerated over the centuries in various philosophies and religions spread across the planet. In order for us to better explain this topic, it is necessary that we first talk a little about the origin of all souls. As we have already mentioned here in previous messages, the great cosmic matrix, God, created this vast universe, with trillions of galaxies, thousands of solar systems with billions of planets. And to manifest itself in these worlds, it subdivided itself into several parts of a macro-consciousness, which we call monads. And these monads, which are a unit of cosmic consciousness, were also divided into hordes of spirits. Now comes an important detail. These spirits took on several different forms of life, to experience a more complete experience in the various vibratory bands of matter. Thus, they divided themselves into three groups that you know very well here on Mother Earth. The human horde, the animal horde, and the vegetable horde. Of course, there are other forms of life that are much more complex and incomprehensible to your eyes, spread throughout the universe, but we will focus on those that are closest to you. Very well. Based on the information cited so far, we must assume that everything that breathes, and everything that contains life on earth, is divine, therefore, has a soul and is part of the whole. Seen from this perspective, all living beings are brothers in spirit, but each species that inhabits the planet is living its own experience of consciousness, and each one is at a different stage of learning. Some beings from the Deva world have wisdom and knowledge that is many times more accurate than human beings. Mainly those that inhabit the bottom of the oceans. Yes, at the bottom of the sea there are beings so morally advanced that at the moment we are not authorized to provide details about them. What we can talk about is, even before human beings inhabited the earth, the Devas and nature elementals already lived their journeys here. In fact, when planets are created and prepared to receive biological life, they first receive souls from the Deva world. Your science proves this through the fossils of dinosaurs that lived here millions of years ago, since the Jurassic era. Reports of the first human hordes to live on Earth date back only 60,000 years. This does not mean that there were no experiences of human hordes in other galaxies. Write this down. Just like you, human beings in search of ascension, the Devas also seek enlightenment and have their avatars and spiritual protectors. These are called elementals. The elementals represent the forces of Mother Nature. Although popular belief has kept them hidden, anyone looking for a little more information about the spiritual world will come across them, the guardians of the borders of the universe and the natural world. They are still responsible for receiving your wishes and can bring good energy to everyone. But after all, nature spirits or elemental beings, who are they? Elementals are spiritual entities related to the elements of nature. There, amidst the elements, they perform very important tasks. In fact, it would not be an exaggeration to say that they are essential to all life in the world. Through the elementals and their direct action on the elements, herbs, flowers and fruits, as well as oxygen, water and everything else that your science calls natural forces or products, reach the hands of man. In nature, these beings are grouped according to their affinities. That's exactly what you thought. These groupings would be what we call a family. These elemental families, as we call them, are deeply linked to one of these elements: fire, earth, water and air, depending on the specialty, nature and origin of each of them. For your ancient elders and sages of the past, the existence of elemental beings explained the dynamics of the universe. As real beings, they were held responsible for climate change and sea currents, rain precipitation, and the fact that there was fire, among many other natural phenomena. Here we will provide a brief description of the elementals best known and cited throughout your earthly history, and their attributions. Representing the 4 elements of nature, we have air element. The sylphs. Among all the elementals, the sylphs are the ones that most resemble the conceptions that men generally have regarding angels or fairies. They correspond to the creative forces of the air, which are a source of powerful vital energy. Many elementals from the sylph family have advanced intelligence, and due to the degree of their consciousness, they offer their contribution to creating atmospheric currents, so precious for life on Earth. They specialize in purifying terrestrial air and coordinate entire groupings of other elementals. As for their contribution to the practical work of mediumship, it can be highlighted that sylphs help in the creation and maintenance of thought forms, as well as in the structuring of mental images. In ectoplasm work, they are direct assistants when there is a need to re-educate hardened spirits. Water element. Undines and nymphs. Generally, undines and nymphs are entities that develop a very intense feeling of love. They live in the sea, in lakes and lagoons, in rivers and waterfalls. Undines are linked more specifically to streams, fountains and springs, as well as to dew, which appears near these places. We cannot fail to mention their relationship with rain, as they work more intensely with fresh water. Nymphs, elementals that look like undines, present themselves with a spiritual form enveloped in a blue aura and radiate intense luminosity. Thus, the difference between them is the softness and sweetness of the nymphs, which fly over the waters, gliding harmoniously, as if they were performing an aquatic choreography. To top it all off, we also have the mermaids, mythological characters who have illustrated sailors' stories for centuries. In reality, mermaids and mermen are elementals linked directly to the depths of salty waters. They have feminine and masculine connotations, respectively. In mediumistic activities, they are used to clean environments, people's auras and astral regions polluted by evil spirits. Fire element. Salamanders. As fire was among the 4 elements, the first freely manipulated by man, and has been part of its history since the beginning of the evolutionary climb, salamanders have accompanied human progress for eons. Due to this more intimate and ancient relationship with the human kingdom, these elementals acquired the power to trigger or transform emotions, that is, to absorb or inspire them. And due to their close connection with the fire element, they have the ability to block negative vibrations, allowing man to enjoy a more peaceful psychic climate. In mediumistic tasks and in contact with the mental command of experienced mediums, salamanders are powerful energy transmuters and condensers. They assist in burning objects and mental creations originating from or associated with black magic. Superior spirits use salamanders both to clean and destroy dark bases and laboratories, key locations in complex obsessive processes, where parasitic devices and other artifacts are forged. Element Earth. Fairies, elves, gnomes and avisais. Although fairies have the function of taking care of flowers and fruits, linked to the earth, they present themselves with small and agile wings, which is why we can say that fairies are transitional beings between the elements earth and air. His work involves direct interference with the color and hues of everything that exists on planet Earth. As a spiritual task, they love helping to clean the environments of religious institutions, temples, and spiritist houses. They specialized in emitting a certain substance capable of maintaining higher-order mental forms for an indefinite period of time. In the same way, they help superior spirits in the creation of extra-physical environments with beautiful and paradisiacal appearances. And yet, When wicked spirits are rescued from their dens and dark bases, it is the fairies, under the supervision of higher beings, who help in the reconstruction of these environments. They transmute astral matter impregnated with toxic and harmful fluids into castles of light and splendor. Elves and gnomes are elementals linked to forests, and many of them are linked to desert places. They have a dwarf shape that resembles a human appearance. They like to move through the forests, giving signs of their presence through snakes and birds, such as the blackbird, and the so-called Paidumato. They are also excellent collaborators in spiritual treatment meetings. They are the ones who bring the elements extracted from plants, called bioplasma. They help superior spirits with healing elements, which are of fundamental importance in meetings involving ectoplasm and water fluidification. The Avisais, typically, the Avisais are associated with rocks and underground caves. Every now and then, they come to the surface. They act as transformers, converting material elements into energy. They are also valuable collaborators in the work of good spirits, especially when there is a need to create clothes and clothing for materialized spirits. As they are linked to the earth, they bring a share of primary energy, essential for the reconstitution of the perispiritual appearance of materialized entities, even when they lose their human form or feel like their limbs and organs are torn apart. Finally, undines, mermaids, gnomes and fairies are just names from a human vocabulary, which disguise the true form of extra-physical nature, much broader than the ordinary perceptions of simple mortals. In the midst of physical life, the daily experiences of human beings, it is a swarm of living, active and conscious beings. The entire universe is full of life, and all beings contribute to the balance of the world. If there is any surprise with the revelation of this reality, it only expresses the profound ignorance of current humanity regarding the mysteries of creation. Beloved, although this message has been a bit long, this is just a brief summary of the Deva world and the elementals that protect it and assist all life on Mother Earth. We brought this knowledge to all of you so that you know that you need to greatly value the nature around you, as it is also part of the wonderful experience that your consciousness experiences in this orb. You are all part of the unity. And together, we are all one. We deeply thank everyone who has come this far. May your angels and protectors always be with you, and may the Great Father illuminate your paths today and always. A big hug of light to everyone, and until the next heavenly message. Gratitude to those who visited our channel. If you liked this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell to receive notifications of new videos, leave a comment and share this light message with your friends.